I'm Aaron Canada alongside the clean-shaven John Schiffner on the Manager Show on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. And Schiff, you actually look like you touched it up last night. Did you touch it at all?
No, that's me. Shaved it all off. Here I am. That's it. Nothing left. It's 1-0, so we're happy.
Now, what are you going to do as far as keeping this groomed look? Are you going to let it grow and get like a 5 o'clock shadow and then take it down, or are you going to be very meticulous?
Be meticulous about it. There's an image. There's an image you have to keep up. I'm not the George Michael look. I'm clean shaven, or I've got my mustache. So we'll stay with this as long as it works. I kind of like it. It's 35, 36 years. Maybe it's time for a change. Got some nice compliments. People actually said I look a little younger. That sounds fine to me.
Well, going back to last night's game, the 3-2 victory over YD at home, breaking the 6-game losing skid. And I'll tell you what, the talk of the day was Tim Cooney. 7 solid innings, no runs, no walks, 8 strikeouts.
That's a credit to Tim. He needed to make a little bit of adjustment, which he did. He and Byrne made a little adjustment. He got on top of the ball a little bit better. The ball moved better. His velocity was very good. Timmy's a very good pitcher. He's a proven pitcher. He's done a great job in summer ball, in college ball. And you knew he would come back, from actually 2 in a row, not real great performances, and that was a good one, and against a good team. So we're really pleased.
What did you take away from last night's game as a whole? Obviously, the Bats did what they needed to do. The defense was solid. Tim Cooney going out and throwing 7 solid as well.
That's it right there. It was a good college baseball game. It was a good effort. We had good grades in every aspect of the game. We played very solid defense. We got clutch hitting when we needed it, clutch pitching in the end, and clutch starting pitching. So it was a good all-around effort, and I think that's the type of effort we can give more. That's what was lacking, was we just wouldn't put a solid game together. Something would not be there. The Bats wouldn't be there. We'd make too many errors. We get a bad starting pitching performance or a middle relief. Something went wrong, and last night, virtually nothing went wrong. Certainly there's things to work on. We still have to execute a little bit better. We didn't get a bunt down. We really needed to get a bunt down. We could have done a little bit better in situational hitting, but I have to say we asked the kids to be more diligent with 2 strikes, and we got a number of foul balls at 2 strikes. We got a number of 2-strike hits, and that's tremendous. That's what you have to do in this league. You cannot give up your at-bat. You got to bear down with 2 strikes, and we did a nice job of that.
Speaking of grades, this is game number 22, so the halfway point of the season, the end of the second quarter of the season. So tomorrow we'll ask you for your official grade, your official report card. But just give us an idea of what we should expect.
Well, we've done poorly, obviously. We haven't done very well at all. And in most cases, like I just said, something has let us down at certain points. I do like the pitching. I like our arms. I think that they compete. Sometimes the arms failed because the defense failed. And then when the defense failed, it seemed to be the hitting failed with it, and it just wasn't a good quarter of baseball. We did not play good baseball. I would say that yesterday really made us look better, and I think we're going to look better the rest of the season. I certainly hope so. And today's a big key. Can we come back and play as well as we did yesterday? Today we've got to be consistent. We've got to be able to get another well-pitched game. We've got to be more diligent at the plate, make more contact, cut down your strikeouts, and play good defense.
Can you equate or compare the start of this year's season to any other season that you've had on the Cape so far?
Not really. This was a rough go. I don't think a team that I've coached has been, this far, down in the ranks at this time of the season. And that's, it's not trying to make these guys look bad. Obviously the league is extremely good. You can't help it. And, there's no margin of error in the Cape Cod League. You make a few mistakes, the other team's going to capitalize on it. And that's one thing we have to do is when another team makes a mistake, we have to capitalize on it like they do to us.
Now, if in fact this team can turn it around, which optimism is, the name of the game, and you've mentioned time and time again that every player that ever comes to Chatham and plays for you has that do-or-die attitude. They will never give up until the very end. What do you think is the actual indication, the exact indication of a turnaround when things go from really bad to on the rise?
Well, I think yesterday was, a good start. Yesterday was a real good start. We were about as bad as you could be of a baseball team against Orleans the other night. That was really, really bad. There was nothing that you could take out of that game except it was bad. Pitching was bad. Defense was bad. Hitting was awful. It was a bad baseball game. To be able to come back and to do what we did yesterday certainly shows that there's the ability to do that. And we just have to be consistent about it. That's all. And, at this point, we're not even looking towards the playoffs. We're looking towards today. And then after tonight's game, we look towards tomorrow. That's all we can do. We cannot, we can't change what happened the first 22 or 21 games, whatever it was. We have to just forget about that and now take care of them. We have 23 left starting today, or 22, whatever the the number is. And those are the games we have to take care of. We got to take care of one at a time. So today we have to go out and take care of business against Brewster, and then worry about the next game tomorrow, or Friday's game against Catuit. That's just what we have to do. And the other thing is that the one thing the kids came here to do was to get better. So if they leave here better, it's been a fairly successful season. If we don't make the playoffs, which I really hope we can, and I still think we can, then that's a bonus. And if we go further in and deep into the playoffs, it's an even bigger bonus. But the bottom line is these kids have come here to get better. They're going to work hard, and we're going to see if we can get them better when they go back to school.
How deep of a cut do you think the loss on the 4th of July, that 12-0 blanking against Orleans, left on this roster? What kind of mentality do you think these guys felt after losing to such a big crowd on such a big day?
Well, again, it goes back to yesterday's game. They certainly showed that they could have gone into tank yesterday. Just go, season's done. That was a terrible loss. We really stink. We're terrible, and go out and not play hard. But there was some life and energy after the game. Some of the kids spoke to each other. The coaches had some things to say, and some of that carried over to yesterday's game. And I just hope that continues. And that's part of the leadership of the kids on this team, the older kids and the kids who were natural leaders. They've got to start to emerge and help this team get consistent and see what happens. And we count it up at the end.
5 o'clock start time here in Brewster, so 2 hours before any other game. Does the bump up in time change the way that you go about the start of your day or planning for the day?
No, it's not for me. I mean, it's I'm up anywhere between 6 and 8 o'clock in the morning, and the coffee, and then listening to Byrne complain about something, and then off he goes to camp, and then Sully gets up early. And we discuss many things, and it's pretty much it's normal day for us. It's the guys it's a little confusing for the guys because some of them don't have that rest period after camp. But no, nothing different for me. Just it's 2 hour different. That's all. It's just, let's see what we can do. What are we thinking about the lineup tonight? What's the bullpen look like tonight, Byrne? Stop complaining, Byrne. Go to camp. Something like that.
He's John Schiffner. I'm Aaron Canada. It's the Manager Show on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.